What's cracking, y'all? Welcome to the Texas Sports Unfiltered post-game show. I am Zay Collier, joined by Rodney Rodriguez, brought to you by Covert Bee Cave and audiovisual consultations. The Longhorns win an ugly one up in Lexington, 16-13 in overtime. One of the ugliest games you're ever going to see, but hey, a win's a win, especially in this conference. But this Longhorn team, it seemed like they did not carry the momentum from that win against Oklahoma. It seemed like they lost in every single category possible in this game besides the scoreboard. Like, you look at first downs. Kentucky had 26. Texas had 8. Third down efficiency. Kentucky, 7 for 18. Third down, Texas, 5 for 16. Passing, 12 for 27. Kentucky, 31 for 40. 258 yards to 132 for Texas through the air. Overall yards, 179 to Kentucky's 395. Penalties, they're back. 7 penalties, 50 yards. I don't even know what the hell's going on, Double R. Like, you would think just this team, they found something in that Oklahoma win. And even though the offense didn't look great against Oklahoma, you gave them grace because of Oklahoma's defense and how good their defense has been all year long. You saw their defense today against Lenore Sellers in South Carolina basically shut those guys out. And you would think coming into this game against Kentucky, Double R, a team that's 107th in the country in yards per game. And again, Texas, only 179 yards. Steve Sarkisian, his play calling questionable. Connor Robinson filling in for Cole Hudson. That didn't make a difference at all. The offensive line still terrible. Arch Manning wasn't good today. He was getting absolutely clobbered. I'm sure y'all saw him at the end of the game. The dude was bloodied up.
Oh, man.
Arms,
bad, right?
elbows and shit. So it's just like, man, this offense, thank goodness this defense brought their A game. They were on the field all night long. I mean, Kentucky controlled the ball for almost twice as long as Texas did, almost 40 minutes to Texas 20. I don't know how the Horns won this game, Rodney. I really don't. It's just somehow they had the football gods on their side, and this defense made enough plays. Colin Simmons was terrific, but you got to give, credit to Cutter Boley and Kentucky for just bringing the effort tonight when Texas, they just seemed out of sorts. Ryan Niblett was good. I don't know if they partied too hard this week after the win against Oklahoma, but shit, man. This team is not very good still, and you just never know what you're going to get from this squad every Saturday.
I think that's the whole thing, Zay, is what you said right there about not sure how Texas won this game, is that despite the fact of what we just saw, Kentucky is that inept. I think that's how they won, because you think about this Boley kid. If you would have had, a 2-year starter, somebody in there, you would have got run out of the building with, like you talked about right there. And I was thinking about this as the game was going on, because I kind of sit here and I watch the box scores, everything is going on. And, we go back to the Ohio State game to where it's like, on paper, Texas should have won this game. How did Texas lose? On paper, how did Texas just win that? Because it was horrible. And I mean, everything that you've just talked about right there, it's, I had pretty much decided that as we got through the games coming after Ohio State, to where it's like, okay, I'm totally going to the mindset of a win's a win. And then after Florida, I'm really thinking a win is a win. And then you have the damn Oklahoma game where you come out and it looks like everything. And I talked about this on our show during the week, Zay, to where it's like, it looks like everything is really coming together. It looks like maybe that light finally came on. It looks like that continuity. It looks like all of that, everything that we've been waiting for is finally coming together. And then you come out and you do that. So I think that's where really, as Texas fans, we all just kind of need to take a step back. And like, I just see it right there. A win is a win. You have to take what you can get, because college football and the NFL right now is at a point to where you never know who's going to get beat. on any given day. And that's a stupid ass cliche that gets used over and over, but it's never more true than it is right now, Zay, because I mean, you never know. So the fact that you walk out with a win when you shouldn't have, take that with you.
Yeah, you have to. I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
again, this offensive line, they got some serious issues. And, last week they were good enough. Contrarian Wisner ran the ball well. And we
Yep.
know when this Steve Sarkisian offense to just get everything going to where he wants it to, there has to be some type of run game. You
Yep.
run the ball 28 times and you only get 47 yards. What do you do with that? 1.7 a rushing attempt? Like that's just unacceptable. And Steve Sarkisian, with all the control he has over this offense, like it has to be better than this.
It does.
Like it's just guys aren't headhunting. Like you can't come from one game, like you said, Double R. Like so much promise came off of that game against Oklahoma because it's Oklahoma. And they deserve their respect. They're one of the best defenses in the nation. And again, even though it wasn't pretty, you handled that game. You controlled that game. And this one, Kentucky controlled you. They were in the backfield almost every other play for Arch Manning, and he made some horrible throws, kind of like what we saw from the UTEP game where he had 9 straight incompletions. In this game, he had a moment where he was 8 for 10 when it came to incompletions. Like he had 8 incompletions on like the last 10 attempts at one point of that game. And then there's just a flea flicker was bogus. That was a horrible play. There was a 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8 where they gave Arch a design run that went absolutely nowhere. And it's just like everything for this offense is out of sorts.
Yeah.
Every single phase.
Everything.
Offensive line is awful from their communication and just not hitting no one, not moving anybody back. The running back room, Contrarian Wisner, he was great against OU, but tonight
was he there?
He was irrelevant. Yeah, he was irrelevant. And then Arch Manning, like kind of going back to just all those miscues early on, just not being able to hit those targets. And I get it. When you get hit enough times, you get rattled. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't getting hit really against Oklahoma. Even though those pressures were there, he was able to maneuver in the pocket, throw on the move, and those throws tonight, they just weren't there. Oklahoma did a really good job of containing him, not letting him run for extra yards. And it just seemed like anytime they got some sort of momentum, something happened. You hit Emmett Mosley the 5th on a really nice slant pass that goes for a big explosive play. The next play, you have Jack Indries wide ass open. And then it's just overthrown. You can't hit him. Ryan Wingo's coming across on a slant. Can't hit him. Like, this offense and this defense is so good, and they fought so hard tonight. They were exhausted. Like, I can't really even get after them. Cutter Boley cutting them up. I can't really, when you're on the field for 40-something minutes, you're going to get worn down a little bit. But the timely plays, the defense stood up. Pete Gutowski, the defense stood up. And I feel you, Jack, like it's week 7, Zay. Like, yeah, you're right. They should be further along than this.
Yeah.
And with a wide open SEC, which it is basically wide open with LSU losing today, Vanderbilt's had a loss, Alabama's looking good, Georgia's looking good, but this team, they still have everything in front of them. Yet I don't think they'll be able to win any games after the bye week. Maybe Arkansas, but you're not beating Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt with this performance.
You see, Arkansas was toe-to-toe with A&M today.
Yeah, you might not beat them.
You might not beat them.
Athens and beating Georgia playing like on offense. You're not going to beat A&M playing like this. So you got 3 more losses. And Mississippi State ain't going to be no cakewalk either. They blew that game against Florida today. I don't know what the hell happened there at the end, but you got 3 more losses ahead of you if you keep playing this way offensively. And it's so frustrating because you got to get better every week. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to you thought they found something. Like, ain't no way they can take 3 steps back like this after that OU game. How is that happening? That's
Yeah,
coaching.
it is.
Simple as that. That's coaching. Like we'll be saying it the whole show. We'll be saying it all week on all of our shows, Double R. How the hell did Texas win this game? Shout out to Mason Shipley, because Bert Auburn would have smoked those kicks.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
at least we'll take that. We'll try to take some positive out of this post-game show and this Texas win, because it's still a win. And shout out to Mason Shipley. That dude nails. He knocked them down when he had to, especially with how just whack this offense is. But yeah, Double R, I don't know. It's sad. It's sad that the team with all this talent and somebody that's getting paid like Steve Sarkisian is, and he specializes in offense, for this offense to look as bad as they did today.
Yeah, and the whole thing is, it goes back to like with Manning, and Arch is going to take the brunt of this, and he did. He went back to that. He went to that lost kid look again. That we saw at the first part of the year, to where you look at this guy and you see him on the sidelines, and I mean the whole thing is where he cannot connect with these guys. There were so many different times to where the receivers, these guys were open. He hit DeAndre Moore at the end of the game right there, and you go back and you look at it, and that's
Stay
kind of
in bounds, DeAndre Moore.
Stay in bounds,
Stay in bounds, bro.
And Zay, that's where, to your point, where you go back to where it's the coaching, it's the fundamentals. It's like, what the fuck have you been doing all week? I mean, how can you go from, I mentioned, because I was off the air for the week before Oklahoma, because I had some work shit, and I said, so you go from the shit house to the penthouse in a matter of 7 days. Losing to Florida and coming back and winning that game against OU. Well, quite frankly, you're kind of back in the shit house again, because you managed to get your way out of Kentucky with a win that you probably shouldn't have had, because you won that game because that team is so bad. And we talked about on this post-game show, Zay, I remember vividly we talked about that as this season progressed, it was going to come down to where you're going to have to lean on the defense, because they are that freaking good. But I mean, at some point that defense is going to break down like they did against Florida. And when does the offense step up? And today was just bad. And I really thought, I talked about this during the week. You come out, establish your run game with Contravian Weiser, with Simon, whoever it's going to be. You come out and you figure that part out. And it really seemed like you never even tried to do that, man. Yeah. I don't get it. What changed?
Yeah. And if you're Jared Gibson, I'd leave too. Like, hey, look at the run game. It sucks. So if I'm not even getting an opportunity to show y'all what I could do, and again, it's not like Jared Gibson, it's Emmitt Smith. Which appreciate you, that's love right there, giving us that $39.99. But I mean, how am I not getting opportunities with how bad the run game is right now? Like, you can't put it all on Contravian Weiser. He's trying. I still don't think he's 100%. I'll continue to say that, especially coming off of that Oklahoma game. He just doesn't have that same burst that he did last year. But, man, this offensive line, they are still soft. Like, again, they showed promise against Oklahoma, and maybe that's just one of those games where we all know Red River Shootout, you throw out the stats, it becomes irrelevant in that game. It's that rivalry, it doesn't matter.
That's what worries me, Dave.
I think this is the real team. I think this is what we saw. Like, they got me. They got me. And I didn't pick Texas to beat Oklahoma last week, because I knew this team that we saw tonight, this team, that's the team that I think they – the identity is more than the one that we saw against OU. I really do. I think that team that we saw against OU, that's still in them, but I've seen more worse performances. You lose to Florida, the game against UTEP, this offense they just don't get it. They just don't get it. Like, Steve Sarkisian doesn't understand them. It seems like they don't necessarily understand each other. Ryan Wingo has been kind of a flop this year for all the hype that he's getting. Obviously, Arch Manning, the hype that he got early in the season was unfair, but he has been bad at times, and the way he's getting lit up, it might be worse. Like, he's actually handled himself in a decent way with how many hits he's taken so far and able to get back up. The fact that he's still playing shows a lot to me. Like, at least the dude has some freaking toughness. But man, yeah, the defense, you got to put it all on them. You have to put it all on them. Those dudes, they got some fighters over there, and they got challenged after that Florida game. The last 2 weeks, guys like Colin Simmons have really stepped it up. But, yeah, this offense, this defense can't keep doing that. This offense will get you beat. You got to find something. If this run game is going to be non-existent for the rest of the season, again, you got 3 to 4 more losses ahead of you. And that's sad for a team this talented.
Yeah, it really is. And Zay, you've been in locker rooms and you've been, a part of the game, and you know how this goes. I mean, to where at some point there's going to be a little, I hate to say this, but some disconnect right there to where, the defensive players, defensive staff, they have to be like, come on, man, we're out here busting our ass for you guys. And you guys can't even execute against that team. And again, I'm not taking slights at Kentucky. I'm just going off of what they brought in here. I mean, look, this Cutter Boley kid. I mean, this guy comes in, and like I said earlier, imagine if these guys had, I don't know, insert the quarterback, anybody that had some experience, that had, whatever you want to call it, maybe a halfway decent, better coaching staff, the UNT coaching staff that would have come in here and coached these guys a little bit better, you would have lost this game by 2 touchdowns because they were better than you throughout the whole game. And that's where, where I thought that this team had really made that turn last week. And like you talked about, to where I did too. I mean, I totally bought in and said, okay, this is what happens. But I understand the rivalry games. I mean, I called a high school football game last night to where it's like you had one team that was very much superior to the other one, and they went toe-to-toe. The records didn't matter, and that's what happens there. But once you move beyond that, I mean, you look at the schedule that's coming up, and there's a couple of games there that, Zay, where there's a possibility you're going to get boat raced. I'm not talking about getting beat. You're going to get whooped because this offense is inept. The play calling is bad, and you have a quarterback that has no confidence, and he just seems like he's not in the right headspace right now.
Yeah, I don't think you bench him. I put more blame on the offensive line. Some of y'all saying that in the comments section, which hit us up on the Coda text line 512-222-9328. No, this offensive line, like, they're the number one problem.
That's the problem.
They're the number one problem. Arch hasn't been great, but the offensive line is 100% the number one problem. Like, they almost blew it at the end. Brandon Baker holding, like, bro, you don't need to hold there at all. We just need to get in better field goal position. Yeah. Why are you holding at the end of the game like this? Just dumb shit. Yeah. Just dumb stuff they continue to do. I when it comes to the pressures that Arch Manning gets, you just see guys on the communication standpoint letting free guys go and get good shots on Arch. And Sark, there were times where Sark did a good job of calling it up to, Arch, get the ball out of your hands quick slants, quick hitters. But, man, the pressure's there. Arch was inaccurate tonight. Everyone just has to be better. Like, I don't really I feel like there's so many things to dissect in this. I'm not looking forward to watching this shit over again, even though I have to, because that's just what the gig calls. But from just watching tonight, Rodney, we saw a team that should be way past the problems that they have. And when you're at Texas, when you recruit the way they do, like, hey, they should probably start taking money out of the Pancake Factory.
Right?
Like, Chip was like, yo, 50,000 is a steal in this era. I was like, no, they're stealing money. Like, for Kelvin Banks, it was a steal. For Jake Majors, for Hayden Connor, it was a steal. For this group right here, they're stealing money.
You getting ripped off.
And the boosters. Yeah, they're stealing money. And it goes back to Kyle Flood. Like, Kyle Flood, what are we doing, bro?
Yeah.
Why are these guys like, how is Nick Brooks that much better than Neto? Connor Stroh was not available tonight. He got hurt. But Nick Brooks, that's all they got, clearly. That's all they're going to keep throwing out there. He continues to struggle his ass off.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the right mindset. He tries hard, and whatever. I guess you could take the wins when you can. He tries hard. It's big time Power 4 SEC football. Damn right he should try hard. But it's just they're so out of whack, man. Every single drive. Connor Robinson really struggled today, which I knew that was going to happen because Cole Hudson has been decent. If that, he's had some serious struggles this year. And if you can't beat out Cole Hudson for the center spot, then the backup's not going to be good either. So, yeah, BTX 154 said, can't help but think there's some in-house drama happening. I don't know. Who knows? It makes you want to speculate everything at this point.
Yeah.
Just how much they're struggling overall. And, God, I can't believe they got us on that Oklahoma game. Like, my score for tonight's game, I picked them to cover, which was stupid, but I picked them to put up 24 points. I picked 24-10. That was my, final score prediction because I was still like, I can't see them hitting 30. They got to prove something to me. And what they proved to me tonight, this is still a very undisciplined, soft, not connected offense. I'm not going to put the defense in this.
No.
I'm not going to put it. I'm not going to put the defense in this. I can't. The defense, they showed me something last week. They showed me something this week. Again, those dudes, they had to be exhausted. And Covert Bee, I told folks earlier this week, Covert Bee, don't sleep on him. Yeah. There's a reason why he stole that QB1 spot from Zach Calzada. That dude at 6'5", he was doing some shit tonight. Can't even lie. He was doing some shit tonight. I don't know how he got out of some of those
beatings,
tight pockets where everything was closing in on him. Dude's 6'5". He made some good throws up the field when the pressure was there because he's able to see over the defense. The Jalen Gilbo pass interference call was bogus. The ball was freaking out of the end zone. Why are we calling that? Yeah. I don't really understand that. I think Jalen Gilbo was such bad contact there that the refs felt obligated to call it, but the ball wasn't even in play. So, yeah, I think the refs should have kept that laundry in their pocket there. But either way, of all the shit that we're talking about this Texas squad, Rodney, they somehow got the win.
They won.
They somehow got the win. And I know Steve Sarkisian's going to say, hey, in this conference, playing night games, any win's a big deal. We'll take it. I hope he doesn't go Brian Kelly on them when someone asks him a question about how weak this offense is and then says, oh, we won the game. How about we focus on the positives? No, Steve, you're getting paid too much.
Yeah.
I hope you answer accordingly. I hope you're very respectful when those fine media folks ask you the real. And the real is this offense sucks. You're getting paid $10 million to figure it out, and y'all have shit the bed on it. So What's going on the team that's supposed to win the national championship? So hey, what's up? That's all I'm trying to say here. Like, what's up? Can we figure it out, please?
Yeah, and this, right here. I mean, you've got a good punter. I mean, and that's the sad part. Where we're sitting here talking about a kicker that did his job tonight, that transferred in from Texas State and kind of fixed the kicking problems that won you a game. And you have a punter that was pinning those guys that couldn't get out of their own way deep in their own territory with a quarterback that's very scrappy. And kind of to the point right there about with the Pancake Factory and the offensive line and all of that stuff right there is where you go back to what, when we talk about Texas can't run the ball and you can't do this and you can't do that. We always want to blame the running back, blame the quarterback, but the key really is that offensive line is not good. It is not good. And you lost some really good pieces off of that. That's the one thing where I think when these expectations started this year and you wanted to elevate a quarterback that really hadn't started against, an upper tier team, and you wanted to crown this guy the next Heisman Trophy winner that was going to do all these amazing things, it was really unfair because what people weren't looking at was the offensive line. But we're sitting here, as it was mentioned, we're in week 7, and it seems to me that progressively this offensive line is not being progressive. They are being going backwards. I mean, you had the spurt last week where they did that second half last week against OU was unbelievable. But damn, man, Zay, you come out here and you get handled. You get handled by a team that is very inferior to you.
Yeah.
And that's concerning, man. And that's where you go back to coaching. And that's where the comment was made about, is there something going on internally, whatever that may be. I think that maybe this team bought into themselves a little bit too much. And what concerns me is, like I talked about a while ago, is at some point this defense, it's a team game, like we've talked about. At some point, this defense is going to be like, shit, man.
Yeah.
I mean, when are you going to make a play? I mean, when are you going to do something? When Arch? When are you going to step up to the plate? Because they're reverting back to bad habits. The penalties were out of control again, like we talked about. And Arch looked like Arch of a couple of weeks ago, Zay. So it's I guess we go back to a win's a win.
Yeah,
I guess, right?
That's all you can do. Like the fact that Kentucky had 26 first downs to Texas is 8. Like that's the biggest stat of the game to me, Double R. Like that's insane. To beat a team with that stat, you should have lost by 20.
You should have.
They should have. The control of the game, time of possession, 39 minutes, 23 seconds. The Texas is 20 minutes and 37 seconds. Like you lose the
horrible
penalty battle. Like you get 7, Kentucky gets 3. Kentucky 137 yards on the ground. You get 47. Every single statistic you could possibly have, it seemed like Kentucky won it. And the only thing that Texas won was the turnover battle. That's it. Like the turnover battle and just the timely plays battle. You know what I'm saying? Texas had 5 sacks tonight. That's big time. You know, Colin Simmons had 3 of them things. Manny Muhammad had 1. Trey Moore had 1. Like this defense, they brought the right mentality. They're going to have to keep winning you games somehow, you know, until this offense figures it out. I don't think they will. I think
we're in week 7. How much time do they have left, Zay? I mean, and look who's coming up.
Yeah, I don't think they will. These defenses that are coming into play, they're just going to watch the film and be like, oh, yeah, all we got to do is send, you know, a few guys to get in the backfield. And, you know, all we got to do is we can attack these guys one-on-one. They're soft. They're just soft. Like you'll go past them on one move. Like you'll be in that backfield causing havoc on one move. They are just straight up soft.
That's what I watch today, is when you really look at some of these schemes that come against Texas, it's nothing it's nothing extraordinary. I mean, it's very fundamental one-to-one, like you're talking about. I mean, nobody's like blowing out defensive, whatever to stop all of this. It's nothing fancy, and you cannot.
You talk about Arch's confidence, Double R. If you know you're going to get hit every single play, where's your mindset? You know what I'm saying? Like that's just, he's not a pro yet. I get they get paid like pros. I understand he's definitely getting paid like a pro. The Warby Parker glasses, Waymo, all the other NIL endorsements Arch Manning has into his belt. But when you know, man, this offensive line ain't going to hold up, it's hard to think about moving the chains when you're just thinking about staying healthy and getting up, because I don't know how Arch Manning's going to continue to survive at this rate. Like, it's getting ridiculous, man. It really is. Yeah. And Stark's calling a very conservative playbook because he knows this offensive line is bad, which goes back to his fault. Him and Kyle Flood evaluating these guys and thinking they were going to be something and not going in the portal for anybody. You can't do that. You got to make moves to find the right guys that aren't just big humans. You know, we had Dan Neal on. I know my man Matt and Patrick, they had on Casey Studdard during OU week. And everybody was saying the same things. Like, they just don't have football players, man. Like,
Yeah.
there's got a lot of guys that are confused out
Gotta
there.
win the trenches. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're confused, when you don't know your assignments, when you don't know the freaking plays. There was that one play where Ryan Wingo, Arch throws it to Ryan Wingo, and he's acting like the play wasn't even hit for him. He's like, what the hell was that?
That was this season in a nutshell, that play right there. Because that dude's looking around. He's like,
it's week fucking 7. It's week 7. We don't know the plays.
And you can't figure that shit out by now. That's, I mean, you can blame the quarterback. You can blame whatever. That's a discipline and coaching problem. I'm sorry.
Wow, that pissed me off. That was one of those, I almost threw my remote at the TV. When Ryan Wingo, he went out for, I don't even go out for a route. He just kind of stood up and Arch threw the ball toward him. And he's like looking around.
Yeah, he quit on the route because he's like, it's going the wrong way. He's like, what is this guy doing? Yeah.
That is so bad. That, like, come on, you got to know the plays.
Yeah.
We like that. This is elementary at this point. We don't know the plays, man.
Yeah. But, you know, Zay, the other part of that, like you're talking about with Arch, when you know you're going to get hit, you know, last year, you know, with CJ Stroud, for example, you know, he had that great year with the Texans, and then he comes out and that dude is getting his ass pasted. And matter of fact, it's still happening. It's still happening. And it's like sophomore slump. This dude wasn't that good. I'd be a little apprehensive too if I've got a 350-pound monster coming at me. And so I get that part. I do get that part, but it's that part right there, like Wags and I, that's kind of our word of the day all the time. The intangibles. That's what's missing, to where it's like these guys aren't even on the same page, Zay. Yeah. It's like, and you could see that, like the facial expression when they honed in there after that play, and that wide receiver's like, what are you doing? What was that? Yeah. And that's pretty bad, man.
It's comical. Like, I'm laughing to try to stop myself from crying because it's comical.
But Zay, you still won the game.
Still won the game. 16-13. The Texas Longhorns beat the Kentucky Wildcats, who don't even care about football. Like, they're ready for basketball season. They could care less. Basketball season's about to start right around the corner, but hey, Texas wins 16-13 to go 2-1 in the SEC, 5-2 overall. Let's get to the Gobundance scoreboard. Gobundance, man. Texas football is built on legends. Daryl K. Royal setting the standard. Mac Brown bringing a natty to the ATX. Vince Young and Colt McCoy leading by example. The Longhorn way is more than just talent. It's about discipline, brotherhood, and rising to the occasion. And that's the spirit that Gobundance rides on, a community of high-achieving men, business professionals, investors, and leaders to help push each other win, not just in business, but in life. So if you're ready to live like a champion, Gobundance, they are your team. Join the tribe today at gobundance.com/TSU. That's GOBUNDANCE.com/TSU. All right, Double R, Gobundance scoring report today. Alabama takes down Tennessee in Tuscaloosa 37-20. Notre Dame beats USC 34-24. Ohio State continues to roll 34-0 against Wisconsin. Indiana, the team of the year, it seems like, beats Michigan State coming off of that win against Oregon 38-13. A&M squeaks out a tough one in Fayetteville 45-42.
You see that weather on that one, Zay, where it was like hailing and all that stuff?
I didn't. I know it was delayed, which Aggie fans were salty that Texas took over the ESPN.
Yeah, they were pissed off about that.
They're pissed off
for that game. Yeah.
Yeah. Georgia beats Ole Miss 43-35. Once I saw Lane Kiffin post a picture of him doing hot yoga with his shirt off with the two honeys, I knew they weren't winning that game. Come on, Lane. You're out of control. Vanderbilt beats LSU 31-24. Oklahoma beats South Carolina 26-7. And Texas Tech loses to Arizona State 26-22. And last night, Miami got by Louisville 24-21. So, yeah, Rodney, Miami going down, Texas Tech going down. Like, if you're Texas, you should be licking your chops
Right.
at what's going on in the nation. Like, oh, man, these teams are human too. If we go and control and handle our business and win out, we're in the college football playoff, and our goals are still there. But this team, I don't think they got that in them. I don't think they got that toughness in them to go just run the table like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't. The defense do. The defense is about it. The defense is ready to play for a natty. You know what I'm saying? Which, by the way, this defense, as good as they were tonight, they might be the worst defense at recovering fumbles. I've never seen a defense this bad at recovering fumbles. Everyone. Like, and I get Ant Hill trying to scoop and score that, like how bad the offense is. Oh, yeah, we got to find points any way we can. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. But damn, man, you get a fumble. Travis Shaw's right there. His belly just hits it. The ball keeps rolling right back to Kentucky. Like, damn, can we jump on the ball at least once? There should have been about 4 turnovers in today's game. But sometimes the football guys, they just ain't on their side, and that's what it was. But, yeah, as much as we want to talk about this game, it always just comes back to the offensive lineman, to what my man Michael's saying here.
Yep.
Soft-ass Charmin. Like,
yeah. Well, I will tell you
that, Michael. I don't know if there's toilet paper softer than Charmin, but whatever that toilet paper is, this offensive line is that. And Sark was sticking his chest out last week, as he should, in a way. You beat Oklahoma after that embarrassing loss to Florida the week prior. But he was like, yeah, people were saying a lot of shit. He was cussing and stuff. People were saying a lot of shit about our team and this and that. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, Steven. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of shit. You're getting paid a lot of money. This offense is horrible.
It's bad.
I don't know what you want to say. Like, what do you want us to say? The folks that cover this team, what do you want? Do you want us to tell the truth, or you want us to lie? And pretend like this offense doesn't have problems? To pretend like in your 5th year with the program, this isn't the worst offense that you've had.
Yeah.
Like... And whether that's the schematic standpoint, whether that's a talent standpoint, whether that's just you having a soft team and not knowing that standpoint, whatever it is, either way, it's unacceptable at the University of Texas.
Yeah. I mean, this offensive line right there, when you talk about Charmin, this offensive line is that shit paper that you buy at the Dollar Tree. That's like 1 ply. It's like when you wipe your ass, your finger goes through it. Yeah. That's this offensive line right now. It has no ply, Zay. It is no ply. But this is where I'm always going to kind of try to be the positive guy right here. I saw the comment earlier. I do that bit on Chaos Theory where I kind of kick back and be the old man and cross my legs. I'm not doing that tonight, but I will tell you, you look at this season in college football, Texas is what they are at this point, and we saw it no bigger than what we just watched. But look what Penn State's done. Look what Clemson has done, and still, Steve Sarkisian, everybody on that staff, offensive line, Arch Manning, all of you, and I'm not calling out the defense because they're doing their work like you talked about. That was the funny thing to me after the Florida game, to where it's like, well, maybe this defense isn't what it was supposed to be. Well, shit, every now and then, the Incredible Hulk can't flex his muscles. That's what happened there. You still have put yourself in a position to where you can do something, but to follow that up, Zay, I don't think you can do anything, because I think that it's like you finna roll off the giant slalom, when you're going skiing. This ain't the bunny slope that's coming up. It's about to be the big drop. Yeah. And you've got some stuff in front of you, and it's about to get really ugly. And I don't see how that's going to get fixed. I think the OU thing was very much the whim thing, very much emotion, very much it doesn't matter the record thing that we talked about. Maybe that's what happens against A&M. But hell, A&M 7-0.
Yeah, it's rolling.
rolling,
finding any way to win, putting up points.
rolling. Yeah.
Like 45 points today. Hey, you said can't say they ain't scoring. Their defense is giving up a lot, but Texas can't score. So
there you go.
Happens on Black Friday. If I'm A&M, I'm feeling good as of right now.
Absolutely.
Coming into the ATX, but we'll see, man. Crazier things have happened, Double R. All right, let's get to the offensive player of the game. Yikes. I don't know who the hell we're going to find with this one. Brought to you by Clean Cause. Our friends over at Clean Cause are on a mission to energize lives with a purpose. They craft refreshing, better for you yerba mate that is just a clean caffeine boost without the crash. And beyond energy, the brand is built on impact. 50% of their profits go to fun addiction, recovery, housing scholarships. So every sip that you have gives you a greater purpose. And over 3.8 million that they've donated to these communities, and they're just getting started. They got new flavors like strawberry lemonade, with 0 calories or sugar, and hey, new packaging, just Clean Cause. They're the best, man. So check them out at your local grocery store, convenience stores, anywhere across town, or go online at cleancause.com. Michael, good looking out, baby. We appreciate everybody. Thanks for rocking with us today. It's late. I know that. Some of y'all East Coast, which I feel bad for y'all on the East Coast, I had to watch that freaking performance today. But at least y'all get to roll with us. Me, Rodney Rodriguez. I'm Zay Collier. Texas Sports Unfiltered post-game show, man. Still have a blast doing it, even though it was a tough one tonight. Offensive player of the game, Double R. I don't know who the hell you could choose for this one, but
yeah,
go ahead and try.
You have to. I mean, it's like, yeah, I want to pick the Kentucky quarterback. That dude was like the best offensive player on the field.
Really
and think about this, Zay. Here we are after these expectations that we had, and it's like, we're one game away from being bowl eligible. that may be our saving grace. We're going to a bowl game as Texas fans. I'm sorry. Does Mason Shipley count as offense?
Yes.
That's really the only thing that I can. That's the only thing I can figure out. I mean, I know that's special teams. The only other guy that made an impact tonight on offense is also a special teams guy.
Yeah.
But I think you go with Shipley because that was a question coming in, with Sideshow Burt and everything that was going to happen right there. That was the pretty high pressure situation for the Shipley kid to come in, after his time at Texas State and come in and win the game that you shouldn't have won. So that I guess I'll go with Shipley, man. I can't think of anybody else.
No, because there ain't anybody else.
There ain't nobody else, eh?
The only guy to put up there. At least he's making clutch kicks. And you're right. Like Bert Auburn, he would have smoked those kicks last year. Bert Auburn's not even playing for Miami. So yeah, Mason Shipley, that's a good get. I'm going to put Ryan Niblett in there.
Yeah.
He almost takes a punt return to the house. That's the only touchdown Texas scores, which it's barely a touchdown because Katravian Wisener almost fumbles, even though he crossed the, plane. But yeah, Ryan Niblett, I told Chip last week they need to put him in the backfield, especially with Jared Gibson being out. Why not? Find any way to put the ball in that guy's hands. That's just not gadget stuff. I get it. He's your gadget guy. He's your special team guy. But this offense needs something. I think they're that desperate to where Ryan Niblett being in the backfield as a running back, I don't think that's too far out because at least he gives you some explosion opportunities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's with this offensive line, they're not creating any holes really. So at least get somebody that can maybe break a couple of tackles and that could give you an explosive play on his own. You know what I mean? Like they're just so desperate at this point to find any type of, chemistry and any type of continuity. Like everything's just such a struggle.
Everything.
And
yeah.
Ryan Niblett has shown and proven that with the ball in his hands, he can make things happen. So I will give him more of a responsibility on offense and see what he could do with that, especially with CJ Baxter still being hurt. And who knows? Like, do you even bring CJ Baxter for this? Because again, the offensive line, they ain't moving no one.
He's going to get hurt again.
Yeah, he'll just get hurt again.
Yeah.
Like, they gonna get to him quick. So is it worth it? Because you need all hands on deck. So I would say yes, whenever CJ Baxter's available, throw him out there because I don't think it would hurt. But for his sake, like the way these guys are getting hit, the way that just they're not pushing nobody.
Yeah.
Like his running back room, you feel for them. You feel for them.
Yeah.
Like Chad Scott probably came over. Yeah. Chad Scott came over from West Virginia, filling in for Tashard Choice in his first year on the 40 acres. And he's like, I thought this offensive line was good. I thought that I'd have something to work with.
Yeah.
He's like, looking at Cal Flood and Sark like, yo, y'all bamboozled me right now.
Yeah. I got hoodwinked.
Yeah, hoodwinked. Like people are thinking, oh man, Chad Scott's horrible. Like Chad Scott, you can't put anything on him. Like the running backs aren't getting no opportunities to do shit.
Yeah.
So what are they supposed to do? Like, I don't know.
And Zay, that's for Arch too. I mean, look, I mean, everything, like we said, the focus is going to be on Arch for what he's not doing. But look, when the dude ain't got no time and he can't go through progressions and he can't do whatever. And I do see him still to where, and again, this is a lot of offensive line problems to where the dude drops back and he's focused in on one dude. But like you said, and like we talked about CJ Stroud and all these different quarterbacks, when you know you're going to get blasted, you only have 2 seconds to focus in on one dude. So that's where you take a little bit and you give Arch a little bit of a leash to where, you know, the decision making is hard because you don't have time. And the running game, like you said, doesn't work because you don't have time. I mean, all of that. The problem really is all in the trenches. And I'm sorry. I mean, I played offensive line. You know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I was a NFL All-Pro or nothing, but the offensive line is hard, dude. That shit is hard. You have that long to decide on what's coming at you. And you have to physically control your opponent. And when they're doing stuff that you cannot control, you're going to get beat. And that's what's happening here. They're getting their asses whooped right now in the trenches.
Yeah. How can you control someone when you don't know who the hell you blocking?
Right.
How can you control somebody when you don't know the freaking plays?
Right.
Like Ryan Niblett.
And that's the bigger problem to me. That's the bigger problem.
Ryan Niblett had moments last year where I was like, oh, this fool, he don't know the plays. Like him and Quinn, there were times where Quinn threw the ball and Ryan Niblett's like, what? And Quinn's like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, okay, he's a freshman. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Can't keep doing that, Ryan Niblett.
Nope.
Or, excuse me, Ryan Wingo. Sorry, Ryan Wingo. Ryan Wingo, bro. This is year 2. We got to get on the same page. If you don't know the plays and Jack Endries, all the hype that he got, all I heard all season was Jack Endries. He's going to fill in the spot for Gunnar Helm.
Dude, I did that. I did that.
Yeah. That's all Chip told me and stuff. I was like, okay, I'll believe it. You know, I saw him at Cal. He was playing with Fernando Mendoza. He was all right, but
how's that guy doing? How's that Mendoza guy doing? Yeah.
Well, Mendoza's been terrific. Jack Endries, he hasn't been very good.
Right.
You know, they're giving Jordan Washington more opportunities.
I know.
Injuries, which is weird to understand, but there's a lot of things weird going on with this offense. All right, Double R, time for the defensive player of the game, brought to you by Kenfield Golf Cars. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned golf cart, we got great news for you. Our friends at Kenfield Golf Cars, right around the corner, established in 1979, unparalleled selection of different golf carts available, new or used. So if you have a used golf cart that you want to bring in and get tricked out and have put in all the new kits and gadgets and stuff, Kenfield, hey, they got you. If you want a brand new golf cart, brand spanking new, again, with all the gadgets and just everything, flushed out, Fly 2025 edition, Kenfield Golf Carts, they will hook you up there. You know, no job is too big, no job is too small. Kenfield, they are the best. So check out their website at kenfieldgolfcars.com or give them a call at 512-258-8515 and tell them that Texas Sports Unfiltered sent you. All right, Double R, defensive player of the game.
Yeah, Zay, I got to tell you, though, Coda text line, you know it's late because our man Johnny Longhorn checks in and says this offense needs Viagra, not Viagra, Viagra. They're impotent, not impotent. Impotent. So yeah, getting late.
Yeah, I feel you. It's late, man. Get out the yak and whatever you drinking and
Sheesh.
try to drink them sorrows away because this offense, they'll make you do that.
Yeah,
All right,
they will do
defensive
that.
player of the game, Double R, brought to you by Kenfield Golf Cars. Who you got?
Defensive player of the game probably should go to Colin Simmons because that dude was. And again, when you talk about things that have made themselves come back to what we thought was going to happen, Colin Simmons is that guy. But I got to go with my man Trey Moore on this one. This dude had TFLs. I thought that was a safety. I really thought that was a safety on that one right there. But
when he made contact,
yeah,
he was outside of the end zone,
yeah,
and then he
yeah.
got pushed in the end zone.
But I think the bigger hit was in the third quarter when he made the hit right there and forced the 3rd and 14 that kind of killed the drive right there for this massive Kentucky defense that dominated tonight. But I think that was a big play right there. So I go with number 8 because he kind of needed that bounce back game. We saw him last week against Oklahoma to where he was kind of reasserting himself a little bit, but Trey Moore's it seems like hopefully that he's going to do what he did last year to where in the second part of the season, he's going to reemerge himself. And that's a whole part about this with the defense, because it is the stalwart of this team right now to where if you want to play game, if you want to get plays in the game, you got to go out there and make plays with the plays that you get. And it looks like that's what T. Moore is doing right now. So I got to go with Trey that maybe even more that Colin was the more obvious player of the game on the defensive side.
Yeah, I don't know why it takes Trey Moore so many games to get acclimated and start producing, but we saw that last year around this time. That's when he really started to get going, and now this year he's starting to get going a little bit more, and this team, they definitely could use that. I'm going to go with Colin Simmons then.
Yeah.
So I think I could also go with Ant Hill, but
Yeah.
Colin Simmons, 3 sacks. He's been causing havoc these last 2 weeks, and that's what they need. They need that from him. This team, they need to start turning the ball over more, which is saying a lot because they've been doing that, but again, just offense is that bad. They need all the opportunities they could get with the ball in their hands, which means this defense, they have to turn it up even more. Again, I thought they were solid, big-time 4th down stops that you had to get, which if you're Mark Stoops, I don't know. I might kick the field goal in that situation. I can't
agree,
be right. I
agree.
understand you haven't won an SEC game in a minute, but I got to feel out the game right now, and Texas can't score. They can't do anything, so they're bound to muck up. I'm kicking the field goal. We're going to make this a long-ass game. Hey, if we got to go 2-yard line and battle it out there, so do it, or so be it. I wouldn't trust Texas offense at all. I think Mark Stoops, that was a bad move,
Yeah.
bro. Like you kicked that field goal, man. Like against
Yeah.
that defense, he tried going for it, end up getting got. Hell of a play, but yeah, Colin Simmons, 3 sacks tonight. The dude was all over the place.
He was.
Game from number 1. It's great seeing him finally come into his own and play the way that we thought he was going to play coming into this year. So,
And I totally get that, Zay, on Mark Stoops. I mean, yeah, you're in desperation mode, but the thing is, you are fully in control at this point because, like you said, Texas cannot score. It's like, man, at this point, take the points. I mean, I get the desperation thing about you want to go out there and you want to pull an upset, and you hear the rumblings. Is this guy coaching for his life or whatever? But the fact that you had Texas on the wire right there, you had them up against the top rope or whatever you want to talk about, I don't know if you save your job or do whatever, but I think that he has a good enough footing right there in Kentucky that, man, you go and do that right there. That's a really good move. So yeah, I didn't get that at all, but whatever.
Yeah, they ready for basketball season anyway. They act like they care. They didn't start caring until the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
Now that they lost, they can't wait for basketball season to start. So Kentucky fans, they'll be fine.
Yep.
All right. Offensive play of the game, which where the hell are we going to find this one? Brought to you by Paul's Motor Works. Paul's Motor Works been providing Complete foreign and domestic automotive repair in the ATX since 2000, from BMWs to Porsches, Volkswagens, Mini Coupes to Mercedes-Benz. And it doesn't matter if you don't have those model of cars. They work on any make or model, from oil changes, tires rotations to major repairs. Don't trust anybody with your whip. Trust Paul Motor Works and the good guys. Paul and the team, they got great mechanics everywhere. So just go see the team off of 2222 and 360. If you want to find out more information online, go to pmwaustin.com. Double R, the offensive play of the game, brought to you by Paul's Motorworks. What is it?
I guess the field goal at the end of the game. I mean, to win in overtime, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, here we are, the great Texas program that once had a kicker that was an MVP of a bowl game. We've reverted back to that. You remember that? You know, we had that, and here we are with this high-powered and massive expectations, and I don't even know how far that kick went. I don't even know where that was from, but that's what saved your season, dare I say. Can you imagine if you lose that game?
Oh, I mean, wow. If you lose this game, yeah.
Dude, this is like Charlie losing that game that he lost.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. I mean, but with the talent on this team to lose this game, the winning field goal by Shipley. I know who kicked it. I don't know how far it went, but I know it went through the uprights, and you got to win coming out of Kentucky.
Yeah.
I guess that's it, right?
Yeah, I guess I got to go with that too. I mean, good grief. What the hell?
Man.
It's horrible. Like, I don't know what I would say. The DeAndre Moore quick slant to give you the lead, but then he messed all that shit up by staying in bounds and allowing Kentucky to drive the ball down the field and kick a field goal to go into overtime. So that play would, in a way, be irrelevant. But, yeah, I'm going to go with that kick too, Double R, to win the game. I mean, shout out to Mason Shipley. You know what I'm saying? The guy came from Texas State. Now you're playing big-time football in the SEC. That's a big difference. And I get he was good at Texas State. He's had kicking in his family. His twin brother is a kicker, so that was something I was skeptical on coming into the year. Texas State moving from there to the University of Texas and having to make big kicks in big-time environments. Would he be able to slow down his heartbeat and make the big kicks when it matters? And thus far, he's shown that he can. So you feel good about that, but he shouldn't have been needed as much as he needed tonight. But in the game of football, sometimes your kicker is going to have to be your best player. And tonight was the case for Texas. So, I don't know how the polls are going to go. With Tech and Miami going down, it's going to get shaken up a lot. So we'll see. I don't know. Texas, if they move, it wouldn't be much. Maybe high teens.
Yeah.
With that. But this was a game, Rodney, where this was supposed to be a convincing win. So if you are 10-2 at the end of the year and the committee is dealing with other 10-2 teams, like let's say Notre Dame, they compare your records and they see the convincing wins that Notre Dame had tonight against the USC team that's putting up a lot of points, and they see your losses and compare that, which now that Miami loss, that looks a lot worse with Notre Dame, but still, you have to have victories where you're blowing teams out.
You do.
And this was an opportunity for that, and you failed miserably. So, this was an opportunity that just you had to capitalize on.
You did, man.
And cover. Like, I'm not saying beat them by 60, but the line was minus 13.5, and you win by 3.
Yeah. I think the only thing you can hope here, Zay, is that Kentucky, goes in and continues to do this the rest of their schedule to where they're able to play toe-to-toe with some of what they have left and maybe sneak in and win a game, at this point. But I don't put right now. I don't put a lot of stock in the polls and top 25s and all that, because what you have to do right now, especially with because I said it to where, to me, the SEC is volatile right now. You just got to keep winning games, and that's where I go back to where if you just win the game and the conference standings are what's going to be important. I mean, that strength of schedule, all that's going to factor in at some point. OU winning today, that's great. I don't ever want them to win. I don't ever wish them success. But the fact that they bounced back and took care of business today, that's good, because that win looks even better, as bad as this win looks for Texas against Kentucky. But you just hope that they can actually go out and be competitive. I mean, if they come out, I don't know who they play next week, but if Kentucky comes out next week and gets, boat raced, it's like, well, shit. That's what you have to look at when it comes to polls. I don't put a lot of stock in polls. It's more about winning games and staying in the top tier of the conference.
Yeah, I appreciate somebody on the text line. Zay, you seem like a Longhorn hater. Remember what streaming service you work for? Oh, I know what streaming service I work for. Your name's not available, but trust me, I know. I don't know how y'all want me to be tonight. Like, this isn't fucking Rutgers. You know what I'm saying? This isn't Baylor. You dig? Like, let's keep it real here. This is the University of Texas. Yeah. Think of the money that's being thrown around. Think of the money that Steve Sarkisian, offensive coordinator, Kyle Flood, everybody is making for the offense to look like that. I don't think I'm being dramatic here. Like, I really don't. I'm not trying to sound like a hater, but it's hard to love what I saw tonight. That's all I'm trying to say. If you heard the postgame show last week, you would have been like, oh, okay, look how happy Zay is. Look how excited he is. Because I was. Because the team I saw against Oklahoma, they showed me promise. They gave me hope. Yeah. That, okay, maybe this team has figured some things out.
That's what I thought.
Tonight, they were like, nah, Zay, we haven't figured shit out. We actually have made things more confusing for you. And your thoughts on this ball club. Yeah. So, I'm not trying to be a hater. Trust me, I would love to praise Texas all day, all night. That would be beautiful. But that's just not the case. That's just not how things work. That's not what my eyelids see. So I apologize.
Well,
or, if you don't like the hatred, but don't blame me, blame Steven. Blame this offensive line. What are we doing?
And I'll tell you, Zay, and that's what I love about being on this platform, because it's like when I talk to people, they're like, okay, you're a UT grad. I'm like, I never even tried to go there because I knew my ass couldn't get in there. I mean, so it's like, yes, I am a Texas football fan. I happen to cover that team. And it's like when people send me, text and memes all the time laughing at Texas. And half the time I'm like, thumbs up. You're right. Yes, that's funny. But that's part of what we do around here. And I think that's what's been missing in Austin sports radio for a long time, to where it was kind of frowned upon to call out the shit that was not good with this program. And that was in the bad times, eh? I mean, that was when this team was like 5-7 and Mac's at the end of his run. And it's like, well, don't say nothing bad about Mac. Everything forget that shit. I mean, you sit here and you watch this game as a fan, and that's part of being a fan and part of being a fanatic, whatever you want to call it, all that happy horse shit. You sit here and you watch and you point out the things that are wrong. And it just so happens that right now there are a lot of things that are wrong on the offensive side of this team that I don't see that are going to get corrected, Zay. I don't see how you fix this. I really don't.
I'm right there with you. So, again, when Texas gives us things to love, we'll talk about it. Till then, we're going to talk about what we see. And right now, what we see is an offense that is struggling their ass off. Let's get to the defensive play of the game, brought to you by Moonshine Patio Bar and Grill. Moonshine Patio Bar and Grill is a place that takes you back to a simpler time. Comfortable, familiar, relaxed, easygoing. Moonshine greets guests like family, serving up a great cooking experience with an innovative take on classic American comfort food. The Moonshine menu satisfies even the biggest of the city's tastes. fantastic dinner, fantastic brunch, 20 years and counting. Moonshine has been doing it big in the ATX. Go visit both of their locations, one downtown, one off of Avery Ranch, or in Avery Ranch, excuse me. And yeah, they're the best. So if you want to check them out online, go to moonshinegrill.com for more information or make a reservation. All right, Double R, the Moonshine Patio Bar and Grill defensive play of the game.
I'm going to kind of go, bad co-host and, whatever, very vague answer right here, but I'm giving the defensive play of the game to the entire defense for this game, because in to be specific, the final drive where Kentucky had the ball and Texas had to contain them from not scoring a touchdown, and they answered the call once again. I mean, this is a defense that keeps answering. I mean, we've talked about Colin Simmons. We talked about Anthony Hill. We talked about all the guys that are emerging, Trey Moore. I mean, all the different guys that are stepping up to the plate and continue to make plays. It's really hard to signal to take one play out of this when your defense won the game for you, when you had 11 guys on the field that were continually making plays. And it was, we talked about Colin, we talked about Trey and Ant and these guys that did it quite often, but it's guys at every phase of the defense. They locked Kentucky down. Again, not the most amazing offense that you're going to run into, but I just take, there's not one that I can do, just like on the offense when you have to revert to the freaking kicker, for crying out loud. I'm gonna say the final drive in regulation, I'm giving that whole defense, that's the play of the game. Those three plays, that's the play of the game for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, it's definitely on that last drive for me, the 4th and goal. They give it to Dowell, and you know, he tries to jump over the pile, and Travis Shaw, Mookie's in there, Derek Williams, Brad Spence.
Swarming, half on the ball.
Yeah, I can't wait to go watch it again, but that was the stop of the game. They score right there. Texas loses the game, in my opinion, because I don't think Texas would have been able to put 7 on the board.
That's what I thought was going to happen, Zay, to be honest with you. I'm
like, I thought it was happening. Again, this goes back to Mark Stoops. Bro, read the room. I'm telling my whole team, I love y'all, but I think we're good kicking this field goal. Don't have confidence in you. I just don't have confidence in Texas to score on us. So let's go into this third overtime. Let's just keep battling and see what happens. I would kick the field goal every time until you're not allowed to kick the field goal no more. Because Texas, again, the stats, they're right there. They're insane. 26-8. 8 first downs. 8. We only had 2, maybe 3 in the second half. It's just so
you got whooped. Man. You got whooped.
Yeah, and then I see DeAndre Moore. I love DeAndre Moore. And I'm glad that he was trying to be positive. He was dancing toward the end of the game on that last drive for Texas. He was dancing and just trying to be hyped for his team and stuff like that. Bro, just stay in bounds. You're too smart of a player. Don't let the dumbness of this offense feed off on the only smart players on this team. You know what I'm saying? DeAndre Moore, Contravian Wisner, getting them fumbling on the touchdown. It seems like just the dumbness from everybody else is rubbing off on the only guys that have some real experience and are actually smart for this team. It's just, God, it's a huge, this offense is just a problem.
And Zay, it goes back to with all that shit, with all that dancing around and all that. It's like you are in a dogfight with Kentucky. Dude, calm down.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't that big, man. It ain't that big a moment. I mean, go back to the huddle. Hand the ball up. Go to the huddle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Jeez, man.
Dude, Zay, we've been here for over an hour, and I'm like, how do we win that game? How did Texas win that game?
I'm not looking forward to watching it at all tomorrow, but I also am because I'm trying to figure out how. Yeah, Parker Livingston, 0 catches, man.
Yeah.
0 catches, bro.
But he did get that when Arch got sacked that one time and the ball popped out, Livingston was right there and fell on top of it. So I'm like, okay, that's his dude. But his highlight shouldn't be falling on a loose ball. That's your dude. That's your guy. and you never go that direction.
I mean, you only have 12 completions, so I mean, not everybody could eat with 12 completions. Somebody's gonna be hungry. You know what I'm saying?
But your best guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, time for the final word, brought to you by Sue Patrick. For the best selection of Texas Longhorn gear, go see our friends at Sue Patrick, located off of 5222 Burnett Road in the ATX, or you can go online at SuePatrick.com. They got everything you need if you want to rep your Longhorns, from fresh polos to Arch Manning jerseys, golf balls, hats, and plenty more. And it's starting to get a little nippy out here. Well, nothing crazy, but you know Texas, that weather, it's going to change like that. They got jackets, different long sleeve stuff, anything your burnt orange heart desires, Sue Patrick will take care of you. Plus, the parking lot's gigantic. I know in Austin, everybody always wonders about parking. They have a huge parking lot for free. And when you go online and you order things off of Sue Patrick, if you hit that $59 mark, you get free shipping. So go see our friends at Sue Patrick. All right, Double R, the final word for you on this 16-13 Texas victory over Kentucky.
A win's a win. About all I got, dude. A win's a win, and I don't. Where do you go from here? I guess is the question. I saw that somebody posed the question in the chat earlier, where it's like, do these guys practice? I mean, what are these guys doing during the week? And it's only going to get harder. And with what you have coming up, I think you take the win, you get the hell out of there, and get ready to move on to the next battle, and hope that your defense will continue to be the anchor that's going to keep your team in check, because you can't count on the defense. Between play calling and an offensive line that is inept, and a quarterback and wide receivers that are not on the same page, your defense is going to win you games. And when they fall apart, like they did against Florida, Zay, you done. And you don't have a very long leash right now to fall apart. So I'll keep it at a win's a win.
Yeah, let's see what happens when this team goes to Starkville next weekend. Thank goodness that game is not a night game, because I don't think they would make it out. You know, Mississippi State, they're going to come in pissed off, and they're going to come in really desperate, because they lost a really tough one in Gainesville today, where they would have taken the league if Blake Shapen would have held on to the ball and not thrown an interception to the defensive lineman. So, yeah, very disappointed in this offense tonight. Again, you've heard us for the last hour or so. Like, I don't know where this team goes either. You know, all the moves that you can make on the offensive line, I don't think this coaching staff is willing to make them. I think they feel like this is their best five. Now with Cole Hudson hurt, which he's really hurt. Like, he's in clutches. He has a big-ass brace on his knee. You know, he got rolled up on in practice this past week. So, again, this wasn't like Cole Hudson was playing great football out there, but now with Connor Robinson, he's worse than Cole Hudson, which this offensive line, they can't be getting worse, but it seems like that might be the case. Nick Brooks, hopefully he could get better. DJ Campbell, Brandon Baker, Trevor Gooseby, like these guys, they just got to keep fighting. And this coaching staff, they're trying to simplify the game for them, but with them trying to simplify the game and make it basic is making the offense struggle even more, because
Very generic.
Yeah, they're just very easy to guard. The run seemed predictable. The pass seems predictable. That flea flicker they tried today, they ain't fool no damn body on that.
Nope.
No one.
Nope.
Like the flea flicker, somebody's supposed to be open. No one ball on that flea flicker. And this is a team that's giving up over 400 yards a game.
Yep.
One of the worst defenses in the nation, and you can only rack up a total amount of 179. They giving up 400. 400. So again, Arch wasn't great. He missed a lot of throws tonight, but you can't blame him that much, because the dude's getting hit every other play.
Hit.
Dude bleeding, like always getting up from, the turf.
Yep.
Guys don't know they plays.
Yep.
It's bad. The offense is bad.
How many times do we see this next week, Zay? With them Bills and this offensive line that reverted back to old habits tonight.
I don't know. I hope it's not much. You have 4 penalties against OU. You have 7 tonight, so that's becoming a problem again. And these coaches are going to figure out. I don't know why Mark Stoops. Maybe he does need to be fired because I'd stop kicking it to Ryan Niblett. But Ryan Niblett can't save you. Ryan Niblett, like both of his returns, set up some action for this offense. He can't save you every time.
Those were the plays. Those were the plays.
Like Ryan Niblett, he can't save you all the time. These coaches are going to stop kicking to him.
Yeah.
So I
Georgia, A&M, Vanderbilt, they ain't doing that shit.
Yeah.
They are not doing that stuff.
Like Jack injuries, he has a milk carton out for him missing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like,
where's that guy at?
Where's that at? What's going on there?
Yep. I don't know. Bring back Juan Davis. Somebody. I mean, come on.
Good grief. That's it for us here on the Texas Sports Unfiltered post-game show. He is Rodney Rodriguez. I am Zay Collier. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us tonight. As always, like Double R said, a win is a win. Texas Longhorns are 5-2 overall, 2-1 in the SEC.
Weird to say, man. 5-2. That team, 5-2.
5-2. Beating Kentucky 16-13. Check us out. TSU everywhere. You can find us. Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Instagram. We're everywhere. Check out all of our shows, man. We got a money lineup, from Scruggs to Double R, Wags, Bucky, BK, myself, Eric Henry, my man Chip Brown, Matt, Patrick Davis. The crew is just incredible. Love working with these guys, man. It's been an absolute blast, and we're going to keep on rolling, baby. We're going to keep on rolling. So appreciate y'all for rocking with us. We'll be back all week, and we got the post-game show for you after Mississippi State. But until then, y'all be cool.